Hi, how are you? I'm Taquan Butler and I'll be a social worker.
Hey.
I saw on your file that your name is Lily. Do you prefer to go by Lily or?
Yes.
Okay, great. If you could take around, are you okay? Take a look around, excuse me. Are you okay with the office or where we're meeting?
Yeah, it looks fine.
Okay. Well, typically we'll be meeting here at the same time in the same place if that's, you said you're okay with it. Um, so first off, I just want to cover confidentiality with you before we go any further. Anything you say with me will stay like between us unless you like I feel you're gonna harm yourself or harm someone else. In that instance, then I have to, let someone know just because we don't want any harm to come to anyone. Other than that, it will stay between us. You have any questions about
Um,
confidentiality or?
Not right now.
Okay, great. So our meetings will typically last about an hour, but because this is our first meeting, it'll only be about 10 to 15 minutes. Is that okay?
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay. So what brings you to me today?
I'm just having a lot of worries about studying abroad next
Hmm.
semester. I have a lot of paperwork to do for it, and I'm worried about just financially paying for it, and also I'm studying abroad in a Spanish-speaking country, so
Hmm.
I'm worried about not knowing the language and having to be with the locals and everything,
Hmm.
and leaving people I know here at Winthrop. And I'll study abroad in the spring, and
Hmm.
then you have the summer, so I
Yeah.
won't see them until the fall. So that's a lot of time to be missing with people.
Hmm.
So it's a lot of stress coming from that.
Okay, so if I understand correctly, you're a little nervous when it comes to study abroad for the paperwork and also for leaving people behind.
Right.
Okay, so let's start off with the paperwork. What steps have you taken to try to alleviate some of that stress that's coming?
I've done, I guess you could say most of the paperwork,
Hmm.
because when you apply to study abroad, you have to fill out the initial like application, and then
Hmm.
you go get accepted, and then you have more paperwork.
Hmm.
So I've been accepted, but then more paperwork appeared. So I'm like, okay, so I have to do this and get the visa and everything. So I'm working on it, and I've got it. I just recently planned out what I have left to do. Finally got that figured out, but still have to actually do it, basically.
Okay. So if I'm understanding correctly, the biggest problem is not that there's a lot of paperwork, but that when you start to complete it, more seems to come along.
Essentially,
Right.
yes.
Okay. So have you had anyone to kind of help you with this paperwork, help you get through it, or?
Um, well, I have. Okay, so the program's through Minnesota, so I have to apply through them. So the study abroad office at Winthrop's been very helpful, but they don't know everything that's going on in Minnesota, so there's only so much they can help. I feel, but I do need to go over there and talk to them some more because they're definitely very helpful.
Well, maybe that we can put that as like a sort of thing that you need to accomplish. Just going over there and talking with them because that'll help with the stress, I believe, with the paperwork. If you have someone to kind of help coach you along so that you don't feel like you're doing it all on your own and
Right.
stressing yourself out.
Yeah.
So, tell me a little bit more about leaving and leaving your people behind. Like, what really upsets you about that?
Just basically friends here mostly because I'm used to seeing them every day, and then so I'll be leaving for a whole semester, and then my friends back at home, like my high school friends, I know I'll see them throughout the summer, so I'm not as worried about them. But people at Winthrop, I'm like, I won't see them until next fall, and I feel like with that time, maybe the friendships could, become stale, or we just won't talk as much, and it'd be kind of awkward coming back trying to talk to them.
So would you say that you're a little worried that you'll come back and some of your friendships will not be as tight? I guess is that a correct way to phrase it?
Yeah, I like that phrasing.
Okay, okay. Um, on a scale of like 1 to 10, 10 being I'm extremely worried that I won't have friends, and then one being I'm not worried at all. Where are you?
Um, like I guess I would say like three
Hmm.
ish, 3 to 4 ish.
What is a 3 or 4ish to you?
So I say like I'm pretty sure. People like the friends I have now will still be okay when I come back. It might be a little awkward trying to get back in the groove of things, trying to get back to talking regularly, basically. Um, so with friends, there's also the roommate situation. So I know my roommate now is gonna have to get a new roommate for the spring. So maybe she'll want to stay with that person because she's asking other friends now. So that's where more of that concern comes from.
What do your friends and your roommate, if you want to speak on your roommate, think about you leaving? Are they worried or?
That well, my roommate actually, she has a couple of other people
Mhm.
going on study abroad trips or something. So she's expressed that she's like feels kind of down that her friends will be gone, but they're happy for me that I get this opportunity. So they're pretty supportive, I'd say.
Okay. So, is it safe to say that it's almost as if you're a little more worried about the friendships than your friends are? Like they feel confident that it'll be.
Yeah, I think so.
Do you think that'd be a good thing to like latch on to the fact that your friends like feel secure in your friendship, even though you're worried? So like when you come back, you know what I'm saying with that?
So like I could kind of lean on how secure they feel about
Mm.
it. More like yeah, I could see that definitely.
I think that might be an important thing to remember the fact that even though you may feel like not as secure, that your friends feel very secure with your friendship. That may help you, as you're over there like thinking or
Yeah.
so do you have any other worries or any other thing? Like what other worries do you have?
Um, Really just getting acclimated to the country,
Hmm.
so the language, and then also financially trying to figure out the numbers for that.
Okay. So let's start off with the language portion. Uh, what makes you so uncomfortable when it comes to that?
Well, I've never been confident speaking Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
I've taken, I mean, it's sad, but I've taken 5 semesters of
Mm-hmm.
Spanish, and and everybody's like, you should know Spanish. And I'm
Right.
like, okay, sure, but I don't. And I'm just not comfortable speaking it. I can write it decently,
Mm-hmm.
but speaking it and talking with native speakers who speak way faster. And then also, the place I'm going is Argentina, and they have a different dialect, like a very bizarre dialect, really. And so just getting used to that and communicating basically is what I'm worried about.
Okay. So is it safe to say you're more so worried about your ability to carry out the language as you're there and to be able to interact
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
natives? Okay. So what sort of things have you done outside of schoolwork to help with being able to speak to the natives when you get over there?
Oh, well, I have Spanish speaking friends, so I plan on talking to them. I mean, I'm a little shy about speaking Spanish, so I haven't done that yet, but I've done a little bit. So I plan on speaking to them more. And then once I don't have to worry about school, like after finals during Christmas, I plan on studying more. I have a lot of materials
Mhm.
that I can look over and review.
So maybe sometime soon you can start to speak with your friends. I understand that you're shy, but I think that if you're speaking with them, it may help you in the end, to feel more confident in your ability. Would you say that's a good thing to kind of suggest?
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, it'll help me overcome the shyness because I'm
Mhm.
just shy because I don't want to sound dumb. But you have to practice in order not to sound dumb.
Mhm.
So,
Okay, so we'll just add that, to the list of things to kind of try to work on to make sure we're speaking through things.
yeah.
Okay, speak to me a little more on finances. Tell me some more.
Um, so basically just trying to get scholarships in order. There's not, there probably are a lot of scholarships, but I don't know of many scholarships for that. So just trying to get the finances transfer over and then find money to make up the difference that there is.
Okay. Have you been to a financial aid office or something to talk to them about scholarships and things like that?
Not scholarships specifically.
Mhm.
We've talked about how my current scholarship can transfer over and apply when I study abroad, but I haven't like looked up any scholarships or asked them to look up any scholarships for me to apply to.
Okay. So maybe that's yet again, something that we can put on our list, a small list of things to check off. To head over to the office and work with them and see if they can help get you some money.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm noticing that it's about time for our meeting to wrap up. Today, we basically spoke on you studying abroad and the different things that are going to go along with it. We also said that you do a couple of things, such as speaking with your friends to help you feel more comfortable. Also, to remember that you have your friends that you can rely on, so that you don't necessarily worry about your friendship being gone when you come back, because you know it's safe with them. And finally, to go speak with the financial people to help with the money. Um, do you have any questions about anything that we've discussed today?
No, seems clear.
Okay, so how do you feel about today's meeting?
I think it went really well.
Okay, that's great. That's great. So once again, we'll be here if that's okay with you next week, same time, same place.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you. It was nice meeting with you.
nice meeting you.